So 18 months ago, I stopped doing my podcast. And it was before I had a load of other stuff going on. I just decided that I wasn't loving it anymore. I felt like I'd done everything. I'd had all the interviews, I've had all the conversations, and I didn't really know what else I wanted to be talking about. So I put a pause on it. And it's not the first time I put a pause on my podcast. I think I did this probably once or twice already. So for the last 5 or 6 years, I've had this podcast. At one point, about 2 and 3 years ago, I actually had someone hack in to my podcast. I think I know who was behind it. It was somebody that I work with, and we didn't part on great terms. And I think she hacked into my podcast back office and deleted every single interview and show. So I rebuilt it and I carried on. But because of that, I meant to have many more interviews on there. And there's meant to be 129. But actually, I think they're numbered up to 129. But actually, if you go back, there's probably about 20 odd missing. And they were from right back in the day, from like 5 or 6 years ago. I've never rebranded it or... Actually, I think I did rename it at one point about 4 years ago. But I've always kept it on the same channel and the same thing. And about 3 months ago, I decided that I wanted to do something for 2026. So I decided that I didn't really want to be going out speaking all over the country. I didn't really want to be, knocking down doors or, doing all like webinars and all kinds of different things. I decided I wanted to start back up my podcast, but this time I wanted to do it differently. This time I wanted to do it in a way that felt even more authentic. It felt even more deeper and better conversations. And it's called Accelerating Your Wealth. It's primarily for women and about the subjects around women going into retirement in poverty, how other women succeed and become successful, whether it's in their career and financial success, accelerating wealth is all in perspective of the person that's listening. So it might be being able to buy your kids more Christmas presents next year, or it might be going on that holiday that you've always wanted, or it might be buying a yacht. Who knows, right? It's all in perspective of what dreams and aspirations are, and we only grow as far as what we feel that we can aspire to anyway. So we talk a lot about mindset, we talk a bit about property, we talk about business, and I've gone through the archives and I've categorised all the different shows. I forget how many categories are. I think there's about 7 or 8, and I've created a quiz for all the past shows so that you can basically figure out which one's going to be best for you, which playlist is going to be best for you, and that'll be available on iTunes, it'll be available on YouTube, and available on Spotify. So if you fill out the little quiz, it will then send you an email and tell you which one, and it might be more than one, of the playlists are the best ones for you. And I'd love you to then listen to as many as you'd like. Obviously then like and subscribe and all of that jazz. That makes a big difference. And then on the 9th of January, I'm launching the new version 4, maybe version 3 of the show, which has been already recorded in a London studio, and it really feels like an actual show. Which is, looking at it back and look at the pictures back, it feels amazing. Not as fancy, obviously, as sitting in my manky car, of course. This is the only place I can escape to do videos without feeling like everyone's, what are you talking about, Mom? What are you doing? So anyway, I've got neighbours walking past. I'm like, oh, okay. So yes, that will be on the 9th of January that I will be putting that out. There's 4 shows already recorded in London, and they're amazing. I've posted a little bit about those already. We've got Amy, I always want to say Porterfield because she markets herself so well. It's not, it's Rowlinson, Amy Rowlinson, who is fantastic, and she talks about how she retired her husband before he was 50 actually, and that financial success and what financial success means to them, and she's all about your passion and your purpose. So it's a great one for the new year. Then in January, a lot of people get divorced. So we've got 3 shows One that's around a client who's come out of a divorce, although not completely focused on that subject, but there's a little bit in there. And then there's one from a divorced lawyer, which is Ellie Foster. And then there's one from Liz Harlington. I think I've got that right because I've literally just done that off the top of my head, which I'm quite amazed at. And she has a business called Family Flow, and they help with more trauma informed or trauma based coaching around getting divorced. So they're coming out on the 9th of January, and then on the 9th of January I'm actually in London as they're released, recording 4 more. So if you subscribe, you'll then get notified when the new shows come out. And the main thing I'd love you to do is share it with your friends. So obviously like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. But if you can share it with your friends as well, that'd be amazing. So if you're wanting to accelerate your wealth for 2026, then this is the show for you. And if you have any suggestions around future people to interview, around certain subjects you think I haven't spoken about, then do check out the playlist first and then please make a suggestion. I'd love to hear more of what you want to hear about, because I want more authentic conversations, more honest conversations. There's no no one's, it's all real person, no filters, no makeup, keeping it real. I think the only AI might be used in some of the editing down in terms of then taking out copy for when we're sharing it online. Other than that, the pictures are real, the videos are real, it's all keeping it real. So that's my little update for the podcast and my focus around 2026. I'm super excited. I'm going to be doing as much PR and as much marketing as I can to get my podcast out there, because I really feel that passion that I've always had for 15 years. I've worked and specialised, I've worked in financial services since I was 19, so it's 26 years in the new year. And for the last 15 years, I've focused primarily and mainly helping women and their families. And I really feel that this podcast can make a big difference to people. And I continue to do that going into the next phase of the business. So check out the quiz. And if you love it, then let me know.